In a surprise move today, President Biden announced the appointment of 6-year-old junior scientist and future astronaut Dr. Ishara Laxina as the new director for the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Laxina addressed members of the press today upon the president's announcement.
All in shock at the age that your chronological age right now. So I think just about anything will surprise us.
Dr. Laxina, you are the youngest presidential appointee in the history of the United States.
So, I know this pandemic did a lot of things, but if we fight for our lives, and we must get the vaccine, wear N95s like my daddy always wears.
Dr. Laxina, are you officially changing, are you announcing the official change of the CDC's guidance that masks should not just be cloth masks or surgical masks, but you are officially recommending N95s for all Americans, including the public? Is that correct?
Yes. I wear N95s everywhere I go.
I have a question. Some people are complaining that N95s are not available to them. How are we going to provide N95s to the country? What are you going to do?
Also that they're too expensive. Even on Amazon, the cheapest listings are $2 to $3 per mask. And a lot of Americans, especially those without work, cannot afford that. How will you address the problem of N95s making them more available?
I address that we should make N95s free for the world, so anyone, the poor, the Americans, the rich, could buy every one of them. So to stop the virus from spreading.
Dr. Laxina, as you've alluded to, a lot of the people who are getting the sickest right now are those who are unvaccinated. These are people who are either scared of the vaccine or are still unsure about whether the vaccine is safe. What will you tell those Americans to encourage them to get vaccinated?
That I know a lot of you are afraid. I used to be afraid of needles a lot. But then I learned they don't really hurt. They're just a little done. Just a little pinch, then boom, they're done. At my first COVID shot, there was a lot of crying, and I kind of run away from the nurse. But at the second vaccine, I didn't cry as much. I was much more brave, but except for the needle part. But I kind of say so. Maybe we can make. Well, doctors and nurses have this spray called numbing spray, which numbs the area. We can make that also free, so everybody could get it, and it won't feel like anything. It would just feel like air. Like some people actually don't want to get the vaccine because they don't think it's approved. They think They think the mRNA will accidentally code for the virus and then they'll get the virus. But that's not true. It only codes for the spike. So that's the only way to do it.
The spike? What's the spike? I'm sorry, what is that?
Oh, it's the. Let me show you. Go. What she doing?
What is she doing right now? I'm not sure. I've never seen this before in a press conference. Is she drawing something? Can we get a visual? Someone get a camera up there? Oh, sorry.
I'm drawing the coronavirus.
Okay.
So I know you guys don't get to see a lot of pictures of the coronavirus, but I kind of draw a lot of virus cards for my mama. So this is the virus membrane. But see these little triangular? See? So this is the membrane. I say M, I do M for membrane because it starts with M. viral capsid. It's called a capsid. And this is this. It wasn't loose. Wait, look. This SP means spike protein. That enables the virus to get inside your cells and infect you. So let me show you a little bit more. Thank you, assistant. This S-looking thing is the mRNA of the virus. This is the mRNA of the virus. It codes for the virus, but we use that mRNA to make the vaccine because it does the coolest thing. It could code for the spike protein. Then our immune system will fight the spike protein. And if we do that, that's how we'll be immune. That's how immunity works. If you see something, if your immune system sees something, and the same thing comes in the future, your body will remember it. And they'll attack it, and you won't even know you got it. That's how fast it happens. Like that. I'm trying to.
Dr. Laxina, do you have any written notes or pictures up there that helped you make that illustration or helped you remember all those facts about the virus? Or did it come?
It came from my mind, and I also watched my daddy's conference.
Okay. Can you show us that sheet of paper to see if there's anything else written on it? Any notes that you or maybe your parents wrote beforehand? How about the other side?
Oh.
It's all blank? There's nothing there?
Yeah, but I was going to draw something really special for my mama.
I see. We've got to bring that to the Senate. Do you have for the American people, particularly in the midst of this cold winter, when cases of Omicron variant are approaching nearly 1 million U.S. citizens per day?
That's because people are insisting that they took the vaccine and got negative, but it was actually a false negative. So it's because there might not be enough viral particles that the kit could sense. There's not, so it's going to be actually a false, which is bad, because if that person travels, it will spread that same virus to the world, to other people. That's what happened with the coronavirus pandemic. You might be asymptomatic if you're positive, but don't feel any symptoms. Just don't say, I'm all better. You're actually not. You're asymptomatic. It is when you feel like you don't have any symptoms, but still have a virus. So you could spread it to other people still. So that's what happens. Questions?
Dr. Laxina, we are learning from members of the scientific community, including President Biden's own chief medical officer, Dr. Anthony Fauci, that the Omicron variant is much more transmissible even than the Delta variant. Can you please comment as to what the CDC and NIH have discovered so far about why the Omicron variant spreads so easily?
Because it's infectious. Some viruses are so infectious that they can spread so quick. And people said, and Fauci said that it's less severe, but it still could cause long-term COVID, which I'm not going to get into.
Dr. Laxina, I think we were all surprised that President Biden picked someone of such relative inexperience. Can you please explain how you, as a 6-year-old first grader, are qualified to lead the CDC?
My family believed that, and that was one of my dreams when I was little. I want to make that dream come true.
It's fair to say that we are indeed surprised and very, very charmed and impressed by your wealth of knowledge and your ability to explain this pandemic and vaccines in such a relatable manner.
And on that note, I would like to thank Dr. Laxina for joining us for the press conference today. Unfortunately, we do not have time for any further questions. Please direct any additional inquiries to the CDC press office.
Daddy.
Thank you all for coming to the press conference today.